Welcome, Empire fans, to tonight's podcast of Wheelersburg Football, speaking with Coach Rob Woodward. Coach, congratulations on a win against Jackson. Man, what an atmosphere up there at Jackson. And I think you guys took on an extremely tough team, physical team, and you guys came out ahead. What were your thoughts about the game?
You're right. What a great atmosphere. We talked about it building up to it all week. There'd be a big turnout, and there was. You look over there on their side, and that big set of stands that they have is full. You turn around and look at our side, filled up. Standing around the fence everywhere there. That was like a playoff atmosphere, and they got a beautiful stadium, and everything about it was just a great night for high school football. And our kids, I'd mentioned it, they thrive off of that kind of atmosphere. It doesn't intimidate them. They love it. And, we got up there early, got out on the field, got loosened up, came out. It was hot, though, I'll tell you. And I don't know if it was hot in that locker room, I'll tell you that. It was like it was 100 degrees in there. And but our guys came out and really played well in all three facets of the game, and special teams was just phenomenal. And we went over the evaluation of the game today. I'd given them Saturday off to kind of a midway point here just to get our feet back underneath us. So we were evaluating some things today as we went over it, and we looked at the fact that offensively we always have 10 goals that we try to hit, and we recognize that if we hit 7 of those goals, 8 of those goals, 9 of those goals, but we weren't up there offensively with the goals as high as we wanted to be. Defensively, we weren't up there as high as we wanted to be, but as we look at it, there's 3 parts to the game, and hopefully you want all 3 of them to be clicking and hit all perfect. But against good football teams, that's not always going to happen. But we really came out and played well against a great opponent in a hot, humid night, and we're able to really pour it on there in the second half as we made some adjustments. Our kids come out and fought.
Coach, I got to speak with Coach Andy Hall during the week, and his main focus was always stop the run, and I think a lot of coaches always want to do that. But it's very difficult when you have the athletes that Wheelersburg has, and the one person that, maybe it's been a long time since the one person that they probably don't key on as much running the football this year is quarterback Trent Sayers, but man, did he did a great job of running the midline option.
Yeah, that's the beautiful part of our offense is, as you mentioned, that's always been a key factor in the past. This year, it hasn't been needed as much at times, and we haven't gone to it as much. But we knew that it was something we can utilize where need be. Trent's main job is to get that ball dispersed to all the athletes that's out there, but at the same time, he's got to take advantage when it's an opportunity to move chains. And, that's something that I've always recognized about him. He recognizes what's needed in the situation. And, he did a great job of making the reads that he needed to at the times that he needed to. And it just, as you said, it was just something that we haven't done as much. And he showed what he was capable of do running the football himself that night.
Couple of coaching points in the game, though. The security of the football. What do you guys do to address that whenever you see that on film?
Well, we address it Monday when we get back to next week, and we made sure we brought in all offensive guys today, and they had a little extra conditioning for that fact to make sure that it's recognized that hey, the ball was put on the turf. That's something we can't have. We talk about it. Matter of fact, my son was at practice today, and so I had him give a little demonstration that we use from our youth, first grade all the way up through 8th grade, 9th grade, high school. We talk about clawing the ball, tucking the ball, chinning the ball, and you go over that with high school guys over and over and over. And sometimes those little habits, they start to develop either bad ones or they break some of those, and that was something that happened there.
Just ignore that, whatever I'm doing. On what was some of the couple of things there maybe fans didn't realize, some kids that you'd like to recognize?
Well, there were so many things there on the special teams side of the ball for sure. Obviously, Xander Carmichael and Chase Stidham on the big fake punt that was ran, executed perfectly. And then look at all the other punts where Xander Carmichael was able to hold the ball, recognizing that there was no rush on him, allow our punt team to get down there. No returns. There was no returns by any of those. Those were all huge. None better than the end there when we kind of capped it all off with the ball on the inch line. But you turn around and on our punt return team and somebody back there, Mekhi Matthews, who I'm on constantly in practice, making sure that he is practicing catching the football and what needs to be done, like a game-like situation. Sometimes, the practices can be a little rough and coach can be a little harsh, but what a great job he did of catching the football all night. A lot of those punts are probably ended up down inside the 10 even. But he kept us in great field position by just catching the ball and then returning it maybe 5 yards. I said it doesn't always have to be a game breaker, but he definitely has the ability to do that. But those were all real key moments on the special teams. I thought our kickoff coverage was great, and Jalen Miller kicking the ball down in the end zone on touchbacks, those are huge. I think as the weather starts to get colder, he's going to get even better. All of our kickers, and I'm a science teacher, but I'm not I'm not providing you with the science that it takes, but I just recognize as a coach, those balls seem to always travel better with our strong-legged kickers as we get deeper into the season, and the weather starts to get a little colder. But we had great kickoff coverage on all of that, those times when the ball didn't quite make it in the end zone. I think it was at the one a couple of times. So all those were helping for establishing good field position. And then, of course, the defense, those front six, my gosh, Nick Parsley and George at the two ends, and C.J. Cooper really just stuffing it early downs. We were able to bring in some of those quick guys, Mason Johnson and Eli Ruby, Chris Bailey, Chase Stidham, who are quick guys that, we left out there on punt and was very successful with the block punt that we had there. I know the kicker bobbled it there, but our guys were right on top of that. So those are all key moments, but they all just build on one another throughout the ball game. And, I thought Bryson Keeney, again, did a great job blocking out on the perimeter. He was called for a holding call there late, but golly, he is outstanding out there with allowing our guys to pick up more yards because he's just in there really, doing everything he can. And our offensive line, the time that Trent Sayers had, I don't know that he was pressured all night when he was throwing the ball downfield, and Tanner Holden, making some big catches. Xander Carmichael with a big catch. Bobbled it after that, but big catch that needed to be made. And just all in all, a great performance by our kids.
Well, you move on to Oak Hill, and you go two kind of hyped up matchups, and then now you've got homecoming, and Oak Hill maybe not be the rivalry that Jackson is, but what do you tell your kids that you still need to focus and take on a tough Oak Hill squad?
We don't let down one bit when we start for the preparation for Oak Hill because they have as big a line as we saw with Jackson, and with guys that are tough and come off the ball really well. Just kind of early on looking at some of the film, some athletes down there in the trenches that are very comparable with any athlete that we've seen thus far this year. So we don't take them lightly by any means. They always bring a very disciplined approach to things, which benefits them well in the style of offense that they run, and we've got to make sure that we are growing and improving, and we've got to look to improve in our game and how we tackle, and we still haven't put together our best game yet in terms of all three of those offense, defense, and special teams all generating the kind of things that we look for in terms of those units reaching goals. So I want to challenge our kids to do that. We haven't had a turnover-free ball game yet, so those are all things that are extremely important as we continue to move through the season here. And we've had some big wins, but we've got to keep on through this second part of the season. We kind of break our season in 3 parts. We got the first 5 games, the second 5 games, and then blessed to make the playoffs. That we all kind of try to attack and talk to our kids about. So we've got that first set of 5 that we've gone through, and now we're entering into the second set, which we don't let down one bit for any of that. We kind of try to up the game and up the level. But it's just all kind of a little new mental attack that we try to have as we approach these final games of the regular season.
Well, it starts Friday night, as you alluded to the fact that Oak Hill is a tough ball game, and they are always tough and well coached. Any final thoughts before we get off this week, Coach?
I'm just looking for our kids. We're battling some sickness right now. 3 different guys, really, and they're trying to take care of themselves and trying to stay up on their schoolwork, and coach is pushing them like crazy. This heat, I'm ready for this heat to break a little bit on us, but again, really, really pleased with how our kids are responding every day to showing up to practice and showing up to play and prepare, and that makes it so worthwhile for all of our coaches for the time that we put into it. And we're looking for a great turnout for homecoming. Our fans, I continue to get compliments from the last home game from people at the Watterson who witnessed what it's like to come to Ed Miller Stadium. And, we had a great turnout that followed us up there to Jackson as well. So looking for another great turnout on Friday night, and excited to be back home playing.
That's Coach Rob Woodward this week with his thoughts about Oak Hill. And please come out to Ed Miller Stadium as Williamsburg takes on Oak Hill at 7 o'clock homecoming at the stadium there. Thanks, Coach, for talking with DirkFan.com.